what you got there.
We had 136 beats per minute average today. Yeah.
Good. So completely off the cuff, this famous 5, it's our 5 minutes where we discuss the session that we just had in a few different contexts, and it's very humid today.
Yeah.
It's not as hot as it's been, but it's extremely humid. So it was a bit of a sweat fest in here today,
Oh, yeah.
but you did well. One of the factors that I saw, and we talked about it right at the start, very early on in the session, was fatigue hangover from yesterday.
Yeah.
So around about how many steps did you think
I
you
could probably do maybe it was at least 11,000 steps.
11,000 steps, a lot of steps walking around in the heat on a hard surface.
Right.
Yeah. So that's a factor, and when you put that in the mix with all of the other things you have going on around 4th of July weekend, family in town, family around. I know we talked about you not having had as many bikes in the last few days as what you have been getting in over the last month. And all that being considered, where I want to go with this is that workout you just did, in my opinion, was really tough, and you had to tough it out. And your average doesn't tell us that it was as tough as previous workouts that we've done, but it was because of that hangover, the fatigue hangover. My point that I'm trying to get to is just to ask you, what do you enjoy about your hour-long sessions, these workouts?
It gives me time to reflect on what I've been doing, and being able to reset whatever I feel like I wasn't doing right, and just start anew. It really feels like a start anew every time I do one of these sessions. So, and then it keeps me on point for a while, where my fire's lit and I want to go ride and to keep the momentum going. So it really relights the fire that you're trying to keep going through the whole entire week, where I only see once a week.
Sure, absolutely. Yeah. Or in this case, this week twice, which has been great.
Yeah.
And the more the merrier as far as I'm concerned. But so was there any particular, let's say, exercise or period during the workout that you enjoyed more than any other time or exercise?
Well, I really like when I know that there's something I know it's going to be tough, like maybe these bands over here, where I'm using my own weight to do my pull-up curls, or
the TRX or the RIP 60 straps,
or especially when I'm going towards the trifecta, the 3 exercises in one. Because I know in the
30 reps.
Yeah, when in the middle of those 30 reps, or even towards the 20th rep, I know I've only got 10 more to go. You feel really good about it, and then you really can measure like how your endurance has come from that moment that you started.
Everything is measured. So the exercise is the test, and the test is the exercise.
For sure.
It's a simple mantra. And then, so you're thinking during the session for an hour, are you kind of taking that anywhere in terms of saying, okay, well, I know this is benefiting me for my work, or I know this is benefiting for me for being better on the bike, or being a better dad, or like where is and it's probably a myriad of different things, but what's a predominant thought that you have during the session?
Especially, I really go back to having that rotation on especially where my trouble has been, my mobility coming from my spinal issues, really keeping that, the thoracic spinal rotation, really just keeping that movement and all that put together with everything else. I think it really, for me, it starts at that
transverse movement.
Yeah.
Yeah, interesting. It's good. Yeah, and then the other thing I noticed too is because of yesterday, and I worked it out real quick, as I said, the leg you have your mobility and stability problem with is very tired.
Yeah.
It was very tired. But you worked hard on it, but you worked with consciousness. You knew that yourself.
Yeah.
And you slowed your tempo down, and you're very mechanical, you're very deliberate about your movement, particularly into that left side.
Right.
Which was clever.
Right.
And then that's the way to do it. You worked it, but you took care with what you did because you know you gave it a hard time yesterday.
Yeah.
And that's a key point. That's very wise.
I was just thinking about that the other day on my walks, like all that stuff that I've been focusing on this leg and really working hard at it. mean, there's a lot of things that I wouldn't be able to do
Sure.
3 months ago,
Right.
just because of those exercises. Yeah.
The other thing too is, in light of all of that, rest is really important.
Mm-hmm.
Deliberate rest.
Right.
Reset the mind, reset the body. So that would be my advice. You had a hard day yesterday, you backed it up, rolled this down on top of it, have a little break tomorrow, let yourself recover and rest up a bit, and then you'll be able to come at it again harder Sunday or Monday.
Yep.
Very well
Thanks,
done.
Coach.
Always enjoy it. I like seeing you effort. Thanks for putting it in.
Thanks, Coach.
Good workout.